I'm working now on the center section, so the main peacock section. And what I noticed when I was looking at it, trying to decide what I would quilt, is these yellow design lines going around each of the feathers. So I decided to use those as my quilting lines. And then I'm going to come in on each of the feathers and add just a little bit to it because it would just be too much unquilted. And so I'm going to use that yellow thread. Now, what I'm able to do, because I've got to be able to crisscross over some of these lines maybe two, even three times, is by using a finer weight thread like the rainbow, which is a 40 weight polyester thread, and a bottom line, which is from Superior. That's their bottom line thread is their bobbin thread, and putting that in the bobbin because it's a 60 weight, so really, really fine. I'm able to go over lines on the top because of these yellow lines, and on the back, because it's such a fine bobbin thread, it's not showing as like really thready is what we would call it. So this is the idea. I'm going to just be kind of going around each of these yellow sections that are kind of a painting line, and sometimes backing up, going back into it around that little circle on the peacock scale. And then again, I'm going right over one of the lines that I'd already quilted. So on this guy, I'm going to be able to go, I'm going to go all the way up here first, which means I'm doubling over a quilting line already. Now I'm going to go all the way around that green feather, come back up on it, and then go into it, around that little yellow, and back. So I'm not going completely around, I'm just coming down about, I don't know, almost halfway over to the other side and back up again. So on this guy, I'm going to I'm going to go back around. So that's, I think, two times at least on that inner side. Now go up the left side, come back over and go down, about halfway down that circle, around, and then back up again, and then back over to the other side. So now I can go around this dark green guy. Now, I've had to do some cutting of threads. You just have to at some point because these are not all laid out in one straight row. But for the most part, I've been able to keep going, like I'm going to come up here to this yellow guy, keep going without having to cut my threads too often, which I like doing that. If I can avoid cutting the threads, I like to do that. So I'm going to cut the thread here just so I can show you something. All right. So if you see how that's looking, I think it's looking kind of cool. It kind of looks like, the drawn line because the design lines are not some perfect line. So having it be covered by the sewing line is pretty cool. And I want to show you, oops, I just dropped something. Hopefully it wasn't anything serious. Oh, okay. I want to show you the back. Okay. Right there. All right. So here you can see now I've got to cut that thread off there. But with that, I've got a busy print. So this is one from another one of Sue's collections. I can't remember what it's called, but sort of busy with the yellow and the orange. And then you can see the quilting lines. Let me zoom out a little bit. Nope, that's in. Okay, zoom out. There we go. You can see the quilting lines, but I guess more importantly, you can't see the quilting lines. It's a yellow bottom line thread, and it's so fine that you can't see that right here I've gone over the line 3 times. So many of them have been gone over, and you can't even tell. So there's the plug for using a like colored thread in your bobbin. Fine weight, so this is a 60 weight bottom line. Sometimes I'll even find a 70 weight. There's some Wonder Fills that are a 70 weight, and they work great in the bobbin too. There you go. So I'll be coming back when I'm quilting the background and the head and body of the whatever that bird is called. Peacock. There we go. That's what it's called.